Is it time to create something different with your life and your body? Right Body for You will inspire you and invite you to a different way of creating the body and the life you truly desire. Ready? Let's go. Here's your host, Donnielle.
And welcome everybody to Right Body for You. I am your host, Donnielle. I hope you're having a friggin' fantastic day, week, month, year. How about a fantastic lifetime? What would that be like for everybody? Thank you so much for joining me now in the past, in the present, or in the future. I'm always truly grateful when you take a time to listen to one of the Right Body for You shows. You know, I get to spend my life assisting people, facilitating people, contributing to people, and changing their lives and changing their bodies. And the exciting thing is I get to change my life and my body along with you. You know, and I'm so truly grateful for all of you who are exploring the amazingness that this world can be, the change that is possible for bodies, for our lives, and really the world at large. You know, I was hanging out with a friend of mine, and we were waiting to get into a diner place, and she was flipping through her phone, and she showed me the top 10 atrocities of something, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, isn't this horrible? Why would somebody do this?" It was like, you know, this person was killed, this animal was dying, this, you know, just atrocities, right? And I looked at her, I'm like, this is why I do what I do. And she's like, what? Because she's never taken an Access or Right Body for You class. She's like, what? And I said, this is why I do what I do. You know, the more conscious people are, the more aware people are, the more that kind of stuff won't happen. You know, the more we have choice, the more we have take others into consideration, you know, from the kingdom of we instead of the kingdom of me. And I know I mentioned kingdom of we and me on a show I did recently. Sometime in the past 3 weeks, I'm going to say, I said something about kingdom of we and me. And that's what really all of this is about. And the body plays such an important, truly important part of that. You know, which is why it's called Right Body for You, but it's also about your life. Because Right Body for You is the radio show you're listening to. It's also a book. It's also a series of workshops, classes, and it's just this amazing set of tools, techniques, excuse me, that work on an energetic level that help you change your body. And in changing your body, changing your life, and changing your life, and then changing your body from the changes your life makes. It's not a simple, oh, you lose weight, your life gets better. You heal, your life gets better. It's about the contribution that your body can be to your life, no matter what size, shape, or health level it is. Does it include changes like losing weight, healing your body? Absolutely. And something deeper and greater even than that. Okay, and so this is what we get to explore each week on Right Body for You with me, Donnielle. Occasionally I have guests. I have some guests I'm talking to that we're going to have on in the next coming months that I'm very excited about. Stay tuned. There'll be more information on them soon. But, you know, and I love doing what I do. I literally travel the world facilitating people is such a gift to me, okay? And I get to do it in fun places, like, mind you, I'm an American, right? Born in America. I get to do it in places like Rome and London and Vienna, India, Australia. I was just in Australia, which is funny given this topic, which today we're talking about 5 tips for body thriving in summer, which, you know what, in Australia is getting cooler right now, which is why in the description I say summer is here for most places, ha ha ha, because not for all of them, because in Australia it's a little bit colder than going on. I was like, before I left, I was like, must pack coat. Must remember to pack coat. It's 100 degrees outside for me right now. Must remember to pack a coat. But I did. It's all good. And I did the Right Body for You workshop, and it's so much fun. Okay. So I have for you today 5 tips for body thriving in summer. Now, mind you, what most of us try to do in this reality is just survive, okay? Just survive, which means just barely getting by, just barely being able to do what's required, have enough, and is really survival good enough for you? You know, is just surviving and nurturing enough? Is it fun enough? Is it giving you what you actually desire? Is it creating a life, or is it just having enough energy, fun, and enjoyment in your life to say that you're still alive, but you're not actually living? Okay? I like to do things that make me and my body thrive. And in that thrive, it's growth, prosperity, excitement, fun, joy, the more choices that so many of us are asking for, more possibilities. This is a thrive. And that in there is growth, you know, and it's not just survival, not just barely getting by, but it's plentiful, okay? And so this is why we always talk about thrival instead of survival. Survival is what this reality has taught us is enough. But I say, let's move beyond surviving and into thriving, okay? So today, I want to share with you 5 tips for body thriving in summer. Because I don't know about you, but summer for me and my body is a different thing. It truly is. Because if you guys haven't seen the picture of me, I'm not a ginger red hair, but I was born with very red hair. I was always a strawberry blonde, kind of had a golden color to it. And with that comes the skin of not really ever tanning, just kind of burning. So for me, summer, and for me and my body, summer has always been kind of a love-hate relationship. I love it, can't wait, and at the same time, I'm like, oh, it's so hot, and I'm going to burn, and I'm like, oh, man. And so I put together 5 tips for body thriving this summer, no matter what your skin tone, health level, anything like, okay? And it's not just the redhead. You know, my producer is Irish descent, and she has dark hair, so she's like, yep, me too. She just put beautiful Irish skin, see? I know, I was in her head. I hear it. And so, trust me, this is not a show just for those people who like to burn. It's 5 tips to help you thrive. You and your body thrive during the summer. Okay? Number 1. This one sounds funny, but take up a new hobby. Okay? So many people in summertime go, lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. There's even a song. And if you guys, anybody's out there, Gilmore Girls fan like I am, this song goes through your head because it was in an episode of Gilmore Girls, the lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer, and they had this barbershop quartet always walking around going, the lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. Yeah, this is why I talk for a living and not sing for a living. Anyways, but so many of us, you know, and we start this with school, right? Work hard, work hard, work hard. Oh, summer, relax, do nothing, take it easy. Well, you want to actually keep those creative juices flowing, you guys, okay? Summer, yes, you don't have to be go, 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 but you don't want to be stopped either, because why is this taking up a new hobby a tip for body thrival? Like, are you mixing messages here? Nope. Because what I talk about a lot is energy, okay? Energy of keeping it flowing and growing and just having the ability to be in the flow of energy instead of the need to constantly kickstart it, okay? I know last week we were talking about that a little bit, and I'm like, when we're in the past, whenever we're in the past, we stop the flow of energy of creation of the future, okay? So this is what I'm talking about. And so we have this kickstart energy, and when we're looking at the past, it's like, okay, enough of that. I'm looking towards the future. And then we have this big boom of trying to get things kickstarted or priming the pump, which you guys know what priming the pump is, right? It's where you actually have to put water on the gears to get the pump to start pumping, and it's usually like water, okay? But you have to prime the pump. That's what you're doing. And so what if you didn't have to constantly put that much effort into priming the pump? What if you could constant? What if you could stay in the constant flow of energy, which is what I was talking about last week? And this is what this is this week with the start a new hobby. And it doesn't have to be a hobby, like, oh my gosh, I have to think of knitting or something. But it's like, if you wanted to write a book, write a book. If you wanted to paint the house, paint the house. If you wanted to, just do something. If you wanted to go visit a friend, do that. If you're keep in motion, if you don't do that, what most people do in summer is like, I'm just going to lay here forever for summer. I think I saw that in some movie where some kid like laid down and then constantly stayed laid down in that spot throughout the entire summer. I think it was an 80s comedy, right? But, stayed laying down the entire summer and had to struggle to get up and get going back again once fall came around in school and work or, whatever it is. So, yes, you can take some ease, obviously, but if you take up a new hobby, start something, you keep going, you keep moving, and that energy flow is still there. So that when you do have fall come back and you do school or whatever it is, you don't have to be like, okay, now I'm serious again. Let me get to this. Let prime in the pump, kickstart that boom, big explosion of energy. Oh, it's so much effort to get up and get going. Nope, you're still in the flow of it. And it doesn't have to be a big activity of exhausting the body of anything. It's just keeping the energy flowing of activity, however that is, okay? So the first tip for body thrival this summer is take up a new hobby. No lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. Maybe just the crazy days of summer. Which, those crazy days is kind of pretty much every day of my life. Doesn't have to be summer for that. All right. We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, I have still 2 through 5 tips for a body thriving in summer, okay? This is Donnielle. You're listening to Right Body for You on Inspired Choices Network, and we'll be right back.
The life and the body you secretly hope for is possible. Somewhere you know that, right? What if creating that body and life is not about deprivation and sacrifice? Would you be willing to choose it? What if it could be as simple as changing how you look at things? Right Body for You with Donnielle is a different kind of radio show. Each week, Donnielle invites you to you. She shares simple tools that you can use immediately to create changes in your body and your life. Something different begins now. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
When you're pondering the big questions like, is there more than this? How can I have a happy relationship? What would it take to like my body? And how do I make more money? Where do you go for information and tools? Check out the online store at accessconsciousness.com. AccessConsciousness.com has books, DVDs, instant video, and audio downloads online classes, and so much more. Subjects include abuse, changing your body, recovery, raising children, business techniques, tools to generate more money, how to have better sex and healthier relationships, just to name a few. At accessconsciousness.com, you can also find facilitators who teach local classes on a variety of subjects. accessconsciousness.com, your one-stop shop for tools to assist you in changing your life. All of life comes to us with ease, joy, and glory. Go to accessconsciousness.com to learn more.
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call toll-free in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. If you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle at accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. I am your host, Donnielle. And, I do have to tell you, every single time I do a radio show and every single time I do, and we're back, I think of my mother because I helped her do her health talk radio show for, 27 years, I think it was, before she died. And every time she would say, and we're back, and I would be like, Mother, you need to, when I get serious, I call her Mother instead of Mom, right? Mother, you need to not say and like that. That's just annoying. It's so abrasive. All of these things. And I find myself doing it now every single time. So, and we're back. Welcome back to Right Body for You. A different kind of radio show with, trust me, a different kind of host. And if you are enjoying the show, I do encourage you to check out the Right Body for You workshops that I do all over the world. I just finished one up in Brisbane, Australia. Such a good time. We went to the Antique Guild, which Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, he has an antique store. And so every time I'm in Brisbane, I go to his guild, his store called the Antique Guild. And as part of the Right Body for You workshop, they let us try on the jewelry, and we play with bodies and money and gemstones, and just, it's so yummy, and it's just so freaking fantastic. And the next one that's coming up is in September in Edmonton, Canada, and it is being live streamed, which means that you can do it from your home. And the good thing about this live stream is it's a very interactive live stream. It's not you just watch. It's not that you just a voyeur. But because it's a Zoom event, we can see you, that you can see us, and you can actually ask questions and interact. So it's really, it may be live stream, but it doesn't mean you're just a voyeur. But we had such a fun time in Edmonton earlier this year that they've already invited me back, which is pretty exciting. To get people ready for the Right Body for You Tools in Action, which is in September, the weekend after Edmonton. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that at the end of the show. And so if you want to know if you want more information on the Right Body for You workshop, or to check out one of the Access 3-day body classes that I do, also all over the world, or an upcoming telecall, please check out my website, Donnielle.com, DONNIELLE.com, for more information on that. Okay? All right, so today we're talking about 5 tips for body thriving in summer. Okay? I can't stress this enough that A, take care of your body during the summer. B, thrive. Don't just survive. Okay? What would it take to thrive, not just survive? Because I, for one, spent most of my life just surviving summer. Oh, it's just a few months. I can stay indoors. I won't get burned, and all that kind of stuff. And then fall comes, and winter and spring, and then I'll be okay. And then, oh my gosh, summer. So I do have to say these 5 tips for body thriving. came from my own desperation of like, there's got to be a better way to survive in the summer. And so this was born out of my desperation, so I hope you enjoy. Number 2, know how your body reacts to the sun, okay? Everybody has a different body. I know! Newsflash. I hope you were sitting down somewhere, and I hope you were ready for that one. But every single person, how about that word? We'll just change words. Every single person's body is different, okay? Different, I know. And skin is different. How it reacts, the cellular structure, how it reacts to sun, how it absorbs sun. And so know how your body and skin reacts to the sun, okay? And so it's not just about your skin, like I'm a fair-haired redhead and so it burns. It's also about if your body absorbs it really quickly and you get exhausted or you need to be aware of this. You know, it was really interesting. A couple of fun examples on this. I used to live in the state of Wisconsin in the United States, and I had a roommate, and he had a boat, and he was always going out on the river and the bay, and he's like, oh, don't you want to come? And I would come once in a while. And when I would go out, he'd be like, oh, my gosh, isn't it amazing? It just feels so glorious in the sun. Like, oh, yeah, it feels really good, but I'm going to go get in the shade, you know. I'm burning. He's like, no. It just, when it hits your skin, it's like, all my cells are alive. I'm like, yeah, that's how your skin's reacting. When it's this hot, I sizzle. I literally feel my skin cooking. He's like, no, it's in your head. I'm like, no. You're of French descent. You have a totally different capacity, and your skin absorbs sun in a different way. And it was funny, our conversations with that. And then one of my mother's guests was his nickname is called the Vitamin D Doc. Okay, so those of you who don't know, the sun, you get vitamin D from the sunlight. And so I actually got to interview him one of the times he was on my mom's show. And so I asked him this question. I'm like, well, you know, it says vitamin D is good for the skin, we get it from the sun. How much time is possible? Because, you know, I stand out in the sun for 5 minutes, and depending on the, you know, where in the world I am, because, you know, the sun is different, like when you're near the equator and all this kind of stuff, you're higher elevation even. And I said, so how am I supposed to be doing this? And he goes, well, with your hair and skin type, he said, you can absorb just as much 15 minutes in the shade as somebody else, like my mother, ironically, in full sun for an hour. And I'm like, oh. So for me, my skin actually absorbs sunlight at a faster rate, and so I don't have to be as direct and in as much for as long. And so, you know, and again, everything is possible. Everything is different. Okay. But know how your body reacts to the sun. Okay. There is no need to put your body in jeopardy to prove your potency. Okay. One time I was in Australia, not this last time, but a couple of years ago, the first time I was in Australia, we were in Sydney, and we were going to go out on a boat ride, and I was feeling pretty cocky, and my host is like, hey, you want some sunscreen? And I'm like, no, I'll just talk to my body and ask it not to burn. And she's like, all right. And then a little bit later, she's like, are you sure you don't want some sunscreen? I'm like, no. Me and my body have a good communication. No questions, right? I'll just ask it not to burn, you know, my face and my arms. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. She's like, all right. And so we go out on the boat. My face and my arms were fine. My chest burned like red lobster, right? And I'm like, what? I have such good communication with my body. I just told it didn't have to burn. WTF, And I said, I had specifically mentioned my face and my arms not burning, which my face and my arms didn't burn. But my chest burned because, I wore a V-neck shirt. And my chest really burned. And I was like, what? Now I'm asking a question. I'm like, what happened? What happened? I thought we had such good communication. And my body was like, we do have good communication. And your host kept asking you if I wanted sunscreen. I wanted sunscreen this time. I'm like, oh. So my body kept talking to her body and her infinite being going, offer her sunscreen, offer her sunscreen, offer her sunscreen. And what did I do? I'm so potent, I don't require it. So I'm going to put my body in jeopardy to prove our potency, to prove our communication, where the communication actually was the fact that she was offering me sunscreen, and that's what my body wanted. Because I never asked her. I never asked my body, would you like sunscreen? I just went, no, we don't need sunscreen. I'll just ask my body not to burn. My body's like, all right, but you know what? This would be easier if we just didn't burn, if we had the sunscreen this time. But, fine. And so it's like, how often do we actually do that? How often do we put our body in jeopardy to prove something absolutely silly like that? Okay. So this is part of know how your body reacts in the sun. Okay. No need to put your body in jeopardy to prove its potency. And this is more than burning or not burning. It's just be aware of how your body is in the sun. Okay. Number three, wear clothes that fit and are comfortable despite the size. Okay. I know some of these sound so basic. It's like, why are you even talking about this? Because you'd be surprised how often we ignore the basics. Okay. So let me repeat number 3 again. Wear clothes that fit and are comfortable despite the size. All right. So, as what I mean by this, comfortable and despite the size. So I have about 3 different bathing suits in 3 different sizes. Anybody else? Right? Some you wore when you were thinner, some we wore when you were heavier, and, one for in between. And so when I first gained some weight, after losing weight, and I gained some weight, I had a cute little, it was a 2-piece, but it was one of those ones that's like practically a shirt. You know what I mean? It has that flap on it. And it was a cute bathing suit. My body loved it when it fit. Then it became too tight. And so I wore it to a spa because I'm like, oh, no, I can still fit in it. See? It still fits. And so I wore it to the spa. And I spent the entire time retying it, tightening it, pulling it up because my boobs kept falling out because it was too small, and fixing my bottoms because, again, too small. And so I didn't actually enjoy my time because I was wearing a swimming suit that was too small because I was determined to stay on that size. I was determined to prove, well, I kept proving my idiocy, but I was proving something about the different sizes. And so I kept insisting on it. So I insisted on the smaller size. So I missed out on having no fun. Or no, I missed out on having fun because I missed out. I got having no fun. So I was so worried about the size that I missed the fun the spa was. Okay. And so this is what I'm talking about with wear clothes that fit and are comfortable despite the size. Now, granted, this one could be for body survival any time of the year, but there's something that goes on in our heads when some of the clothes are less fabric-y, It's more skimpy because, it's hot outside. You want to wear less clothes. And so he's like, well, I'm going to stay in the size 4, 6, 8, 12, whatever it is, even if it's so tight that it feels like a second skin, and then I'm going to get hot and it's with jeans and it's going to be sticky, and see, now I'm wearing the right size and I just so uncomfortable. I mean, come on. This is not body thrival. This is actually body torture during the summer, okay? So wear clothes that fit and are comfortable despite the size. Sizes are wrong, you guys. I am sorry. I've tried on jeans in the same name brand, like Lee or Levi or something like that. Same sizes, different cuts, totally different fit on my body, okay? I've tried on the same size with like a Levi's jeans with a Gloria Vanderbilt jean, and it's same size, completely two different fits. One fits over my thighs and hips. The other one doesn't fit over my thighs and hips. So this I'm saying, don't worry about the size so much, you guys. It changes. It shifts. You know how they're always talking about Marilyn Monroe wore a size 12? She did. And the size 12 at her time was probably a 6 or 8 now. So it's like you can't even judge yourself with what sizes used to be, because they're different. Brand name makers actually do this intentionally, okay? So you want to wear clothes that are comfortable despite the size. Throw out the sizes. If your body feels comfortable in it, you will thrive during the summer, not win, not just survive, okay? All right, so we're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we have more tips. I know, shocking that when I say 5 tips for body thrival and I've only been through 3, that I have more tips. I promise what I deliver sometimes, or deliver what I promise. Reverse that. Yeah, anyways, welcome to my head. All right, we're going to take a quick little break. This is Donnielle. You're listening to Right Body for You. We're on Inspired Choices Network, and we'll be right back.
The life and the body you secretly hope for is possible. Somewhere you know that, right? What if creating that body and life is not about deprivation and sacrifice? Would you be willing to choose it? What if it could be as simple as changing how you look at things? Right Body for You with Donnielle is a different kind of radio show. Each week, Donnielle invites you to you. She shares simple tools that you can use immediately to create changes in your body and your life. Something different begins now. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
What if you really do change molecules by your interaction with them? What if the change you've been looking for is right before your eyes? What if the uncomfortableness that comes with difference could be fun? What if the closed-minded people of the world no longer determined our world? What if gratitude trumps judgment every time? What if your kindness healed the world? What if the earth is asking for your help? And what if you had the resources to give it? This is your invitation to step into something that Einstein, Marie Curie, Picasso, Da Vinci, Shakespeare, Aristotle all knew to be true. Hi, my name is Dane here. 13 years ago, I started to truly ask questions. Actually, I started to be the question, and everything changed for me. What if there are no dumb questions, or any question too large? What if you being you are the gift and the change this world requires? Is now the time? For more questions to create a change in your world, sign up for a free video series at beingyouclass.com. My gift to you, beingyouclass.com.
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call toll-free in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at Inspired Choices Network. If you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle at accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. I am your host, Donnielle. Thank you for tuning in today, tomorrow, or yesterday, whenever it is that you are listening. I am so grateful you're taking the time to join me and my body with contributing to you and your body and your life. What else is truly possible when you're including your body into the computation of your life? A lot. Just saying, a lot possible. Okay. All right, so today we're talking about 5 tips for body thriving in summer. Oh, and if you want any more information about Right Body for You, about me, about my classes, workshops, telecalls, products, if you'd like to sign up for a session, a one-on-one session with me, please go to my website, Donnielle.com, DONNIELLE.com. It's a great way to get hold of me and find out more information. It's kind of the point of my website, truthfully. It's kind of the point of websites in general. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who I've known 30 years, and we're like, remember when the internet was invented? I was like, oh my gosh, we are so aging ourselves. So yes, check out my website, Donnielle.com, DONNIELLE. Today we're talking about 5 tips for body thriving in summer, not just surviving, not getting through it, but actually thriving in the summer. Okay, number 1 was take up a new hobby. Number 2, know how your body reacts to the sun. Okay. 3, wear clothes that fit and are comfortable despite the size. Okay. Number 4, acknowledge and be aware of that your body may desire different foods and liquids in different capacities. Okay. Sorry for the hesitation there. I couldn't read my writing. I could read, it was type, but I couldn't read my grammar. How about that? Acknowledge and be aware of what your body may desire, that your body may desire different foods and liquids in different capacities. Okay. What do I mean by that? Well, in my body personally, when it comes out for summer, it always enjoys water, but it enjoys water in a cooler capacity. Okay. And it's more refreshing to it that way. I know there's studies about cold water versus room temperature water, yada, yada, yada. My body likes it when the water is cooler, okay? And on that note, my body also really likes seltzer water or mineral water with bubbles, right? Sparkling water, whatever you want to call it. My body loves it. It actually feels lighter in the summer when I drink sparkling water of some sort. Okay. Why? I don't know. Doesn't matter, but it does. I feel lighter. My body feels lighter when I drink sparkling water, cold sparkling water for it in the summer. And I drink more of it. Okay. My body doesn't actually really like milk drinks too much during the summer. Yes, I know, frappuccinos, what are you going to do? It's like culture shock if I don't drink a frappuccino. But my body doesn't like the milk. I don't even eat cheese as much during the summer. And for me, cheese is usually one of my body's main food groups, right? But not during the summer. It doesn't actually like it a whole lot. It does really enjoy fruits and vegetables a whole lot. And meat, I'm a huge carnivore. I don't eat as much meat during the summer, okay? And this is not a hard and fast rule. It's like this is the way it is every single day, every single time. Absolutely not. I'm constantly in question with my body, but I have noticed these trends, okay? So why I'm saying acknowledge and be aware that your body may require different foods and liquids during the summer is just to give you that permission of it's okay whatever's going on with your body. You know, because my body doesn't want the milk, I'm not going, or cheese, I'm not going, oh my gosh, I think my body's starting to become lactose intolerant. No, it's just a moment, okay? And then, so my body's not desiring meat as much. Oh my gosh, maybe I should be vegetarian. Absolutely not. During the winter, my body loves meat. Yes, there's those studies about how meat warms your blood, so that makes sense during winter, yada, yada, yada. My body just likes it when it likes it, okay? So just to be aware, and my body loves the sparkling water. it literally feels lighter. I don't know if it adds space in my molecules or what, but I can actually, my body does even better in direct sunlight with sparkling water versus still water. I don't know what it is. I'm not worried about it, but that's just the way it is, okay? So acknowledge and be aware that your body may require different foods and liquids, and don't come to conclusion about it. That's the thing. Don't come to conclusion about any of this, okay? Just because my body has a penchant for not milk products during the summer, I'm not throwing away the cheese or half and half, because every once in a while my body still likes the cheese and half and half in the coffee, not just straight out of the refrigerator. Although somebody posted on one of my Facebook things the other day, I can't even remember what it was, but he's like, "Oh, I love half and half, drinking straight half and half." So my body, I don't throw it away. I just am aware of my body shifts and changes constantly, okay? So like I said, this is just to help you don't come to conclusion, and just be aware that your body's going to change, and it's okay. It doesn't indicate anything necessarily other than, you know what, it's warm. All right, so number five, sleep. I know, hello, obvious, but it's true. It's really interesting as I do travel the world, and it's on different points on the planet. I literally mean the physicalness of the planet. Because I remember one time I was in Copenhagen, I think it was Copenhagen, and it was about 10:30 at night, and I didn't even realize it because it was still sunlight out, and then the sun came up about 3. I'm like, isn't that interesting? And so be aware of your sleep during summer for your body. Yes, you may require less. Yes, you may require more. But be aware of where it does still require, especially if you've done something, you like combine some of these. And if I am out in the sun for a long time, when I come in, my body wants to sleep. And it's not a wrongness, it's not a rightness, but it is the way my body acts with it, is it wants some sleep after being in the sun for a long time. Like right before this radio show, I got my hair cut, and my haircut lady, I don't know what she's called. I call her Michelle, but anyways, the lady who cuts my hair had just gotten back from a week at Lake Powell, which is, one of the large lakes here in the Arizona, Nevada, Utah area. And she was brown. She's a white girl, but she was brown. And she's like, "Oh yeah, I had so much fun." And then I'm like, "Well, how did you get tired or anything?" And she's like, "No, I loved it. My body thrived." Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, "Okay, cool." She spent 10 days in Lake Powell on this boat. I'm like, and on the sandbar, because they camp on the sandbar. And I'm like, wow, that actually sounds kind of like torture for 10 days for me and my body to be that much sun and reflection with the water and everything. My body can handle it for a couple of days. And it sleeps more. When I'm inside not moving as much, I sleep less. So, but it is still important to sleep. I brought up how the sunlight kind of throws things off. So please do be aware of what your body requires and when. Okay, I know it sounds simplistic, but it's true. And we're going for thrival, not survival. So you want to honor your body and give it the amount of sleep that it's asking for. I love my producer. I flip back to the screen where it's the chat room. And when I said I didn't know what my haircutting lady's called, she's like, "Haircut lady, hairdresser, silent." You're awesome. Welcome to the Peanut Gallery. This is what's going on, you guys. If you've never been in the chat room, I highly suggest it. We always have so much fun. You go to inspiredchoicesnetwork.com, go on the top where it says menu, or the menu on top, and click on chat room and type in your name and join us. You can talk to each other, ask questions of me, make comments, and just generally, as I'm sure you're not surprised, generally the chat room with my radio shows tend to be a little sarcastic and humor-filled. Laughter-inducing change agent, I say. All right. So these are the 5. Right? These are the 5 tips for body thriving in summer. Number 1, take up a new hobby. Remember, keep that energy flowing and going. No lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. That does not mean you have to be out in the sun, toiling away, exhausting, but keep the energy flowing of creation and generation. This is what we're talking about. So you don't have to prime that pump or really work hard at it or brush the dust off to get going. You're still going. So take up a new hobby. It could be knitting, for heaven's sakes, right? It could be writing that book. It could be having that conversation with somebody, but keep it going. Write a letter. Keep it going so you can don't have to restart it, okay? Number 2, know how your body reacts in the sun. Mine burns. Plain and simple, mine burns. My old roommate, no sunscreen nearby. He just tans and is like, oh, that feels so good. I'm like, I'm cooking. It smells like bacon and it's really me. Okay? So know how your body reacts in the sun, just so you can honor it and do what's required for it. Number 3, wear clothes that fit and are comfortable despite the size. Insisting last year's swimsuit will work when it doesn't work, not a kindness. It goes to the clothes, it goes to the shirts, pants, dresses, anything. Because I don't know about you, but even clothes that are too big, like I have jeans that are too big, and when I wear them out in the sun, it just is uncomfortable. So one way to help your body thrive this summer is to actually wear the clothes that fit and make it feel good, okay? Number 4, acknowledge and be aware that your body may desire different foods and liquids in different capacities. You know how I was talking about my body loves cold, sparkling water in the summer. It makes it feel lighter. It just does. My body doesn't really like cheese or ice cream. Well, it never really likes ice cream, but half and half or anything like that in the summer, it just is not refreshing, which makes me sad for the cappuccinos not cappuccinos, but the frappuccinos. And no hard and fast rules. Every once in a while, I still do the frappuccinos. So just be aware your body requires it in different ways, in different amounts, okay? And then number 5, sleep. I know, shocking, but it's true. We think this like summer, you just have to keep going. There's 2 thoughts, it seems. You have to keep going. Sleep is just wasting the summer. Well, sometimes your body requires the sleep. Sometimes your body doesn't require the sleep, okay? So see what is for you and your body in the sleep world. And just because the sun's up doesn't mean you have to be, and vice versa, okay? And then number 6, because I can never do only 5. Every time I say 5 or 10, I always end up with more. I don't know. I'd like to give bonuses. So here's a bonus one. Don't turn off your awareness. Period. Okay? What I mean by this is it's like, well, this is how summer should be. It should be nonstop parties, barbecues in the sun all the time. If you're not in the sun, then obviously you're not doing summer right. So, or you're not at the beach, or you're not swimming, or whatever it is. Whatever summer is to have that you've been raised as, don't turn off your awareness. Ask your body for whatever it is, because don't come to conclusions. This is what summer should be. This is what I should be doing. No, still do whatever it is for you and your body. And don't turn off your awareness. You might have heard me say this before. don't turn off your awareness for anything, anyone, at any time. And this comes in the form of continue to ask questions, okay? Just because my body doesn't necessarily like milk products in the summer, you know, the cheese and the frappuccinos or the half and half in the coffee, that doesn't mean I'm not going to ask the question, hey, if I go to Starbucks or some unmentioned, unnamed brand coffee house, and I ask my body, what would you like to eat and drink? And it says Frappuccino. I'm not going to go, no, because my body doesn't like it during the summer. No, I'm going to be willing to be in the question. I'm not going to turn off my awareness. And this also comes with like the story I told you about when I was in Sydney, Australia, and I was my host offered me sunscreen, and I turned off my awareness. I assumed and judged and concluded that all I had to do was ask my body what it desired, and then that would be fine. All I had to do was tell my body that it wouldn't burn and that we would be fine, instead of actually asking my body, having the awareness that my body was asking for the sunscreen. Okay? So this is what I mean by don't turn off your awareness ever. Don't drink a ton of water because it's summer and you're out in the sun. Your body may not be desiring or requiring it. Okay? So what would it take for you to thrive this summer? Not just survive, but thrive. What would it take? I don't know about you, but survival isn't good enough for me anymore. I want to thrive. Anybody else in? Not just in summer, but for the rest of the time as well. Let's do that, shall we? Let's thrive, not just survive. And one of the ways I'm going to thrive and have a good time is in September 2017, we're going to do the first Right Body for You Tools in Action, okay? As you've been listening to the radio show, I have shared with you a lot of the Right Body for You tools, and if you've been to one of the Right Body for You workshops, you received 2.5 days this huge manual of these tools, and people are always going, well, can I take you in my pocket and keep you to help me figure out when to use the tools and what tools? So I went, as fun as that might sound, what I'm actually going to do is going to put together this Right Body for You Tools in Action. It's the first of its kind in Access Consciousness and Right Body for You, where it's not a classroom setting, it's a life setting. We're going to go out into the French Quarter of New Orleans, and we are going to bring the manual of Right Body for You to life. Okay, we're going to have real-life events, real-time events about using the Right Body for You tools. A bunch of things I'm designing and putting together for the Right Body for You tools, and I get to be there to help provide clarity and communication with your body and what your body eats, desires to wear, all of that kind of stuff, and in between. What it's like to podpoc your body around money. And just, I'm really excited for this. And we're keeping it to 30 people maximum, 30 people maximum, because I wanted it to be an intimate experience. I wanted to be able to contribute to each of you as you require the clarity around the tools, okay? So I'm really excited to share this Right Body for You Tools in Action in New Orleans, Louisiana. I love this city, and I can't wait to share it with some of you, okay? Check it out, Donnielle.com, DONNIELLE.com. And again, you can go to the website for classes, products, sign up for a private session, and more. Check it out, Donnielle.com, DONNIELLE. Please make sure there's the 2 N's in there. Make it a fun week, a happy week. Be back next week. And until then, enjoy your body, because it's enjoying you. And I hope to see you back here next week. Until then, you guys, have fun. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for listening to Right Body for You. Donnielle will return next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you and your body will join us. Until then, have fun.